A man who once went by Dustin Elby has legally changed his name to run for president. We were all fed up with Trump versus Biden, but one man took it into his own hands. An Army veteran and 7th grade teacher in Texas legally changed his name to literally anybody else and launched a bid for the presidency. This is him. Literally anybody else, or Mr. Else, appears on his driver's license now as well. He said his campaign wasn't really about him as an individual, but about the idea of having a third-party candidate at all. I really want there to be an outlet for folks like me who are just so fed up with this constant power grab between two parties that has no benefit for the common person. We can do better out of 300 million people for president. He's already filed with the Federal Election Commission, but he faces an uphill battle to gain 113,151 signatures from people who didn't vote in either of Texas's primaries in order to qualify as an independent. He'd face similar hurdles in the other 49 states as well. He's filed to run in the general election, envisioning a ballot reading Donald Trump, Joe Biden, and under it, literally anybody else. I'm not delusional. This will be very hard to do, but it's not impossible. According to a recent ABC Ipsos poll, Americans were asked if they would trust Trump, Biden, or neither to better lead the nation. 36% picked Trump, 33% chose Biden, while 30% trusted neither. Cenk, are you going to write in literally anybody else for president?
Kinda. So I'm not going to, but let me explain something that people might be shocked by. Okay. So if I just did it by myself, it's a wasted vote. Besides which, the brother doesn't know, it is literally impossible. It would cost tens of millions of dollars to get on, but I love it. I like that he's doing it. I've been there. It's almost literally anybody else in the primary. But if you said to me, Cenk, forget wasting your vote, forget the fact that he's not going to win. You decide. This is a hypothetical. You're going to pick Biden, Trump, or this guy who just renamed himself literally anybody else. I would pick him. And so now if you're a Democrat, your head's exploding. How dare you? I knew it. You're a traitor. Joe Biden's the greatest grandpa of all time, and he's done so many good things for the semiconductor industry, and yet you pick this guy, and you don't even know what he's about. You're right, I'll tell you a little bit about him in a second, but I pick him blind. So why would I pick someone out of a hat? Maybe he might even be a right winger. How do I know? Why am I picking a total rando over Joe Biden, let alone Donald Trump? Well, because those two suck, and I already know they suck. And so corruption is built in for both of those candidates. If you think Joe Biden takes hundreds of millions of dollars, actually billions of dollars, from donors, including giant corporate donors, and doesn't do them favors, you just don't know politics. That's okay. You might, maybe you're a dentist. God bless. You got no obligation to know politics. But if you know politics, Joe Biden serves his donors approximately 100%. But is Donald Trump the populist? Oh, he doesn't do that. He's for the average. Are you kidding me? Come on, guys. Donald Trump will do anything for a donor. Anything. Foreign country, individual. He doesn't care. Give me the money is his slogan. And he's not gonna. So if you tell me you got two guys that you know for a fact are the nearly 100% corrupt, and you got a rando, I'll take the rando. Because the guy doesn't walk in with an filled to the rim in corruption. And he comes in at it from the perspective of an average man. Whereas both Joe Biden and Donald Trump are elitist insiders. And they have the perspective of elitist insiders. No, give me the average guy in a second. Now, as it turns out, we still don't know much about the guy, but he's an Army veteran. Great, no problem. It turns out he's a math teacher. Now, a lot of the Republicans are like, oh, he's a teacher, boo. He teaches children and tries to do good in the world, boo. Probably not a right winger. I don't know, brother, I don't know. I'm not gonna make assumptions on veteran or teacher, etc. All I know is give me literally anybody else.
I like the sentiment. I like the idea. I think the execution is good. Changing your name is taking a bit, maybe too far. But you know what? I enjoyed it. It's fun to me. I think what it represents is a feeling that I have, maybe you have, and I think a lot of people have. We all want more options. We are tired of this two-party system. We're tired of this duopoly. And while we're in a moment where you have people like RFK and you have No Labels considering forming a ticket, that isn't the solution. That's not a real solution, because RFK is only on the ballot in Utah right now. No Labels has 15, 16, 17 ballot. They're on the ballot in 16 or so states. Neither are mathematically possible. I would love a system where we have a multi-party system and you have people filling a party here that are truly progressive. I know the Labour Party in the UK isn't great, but something like that where you have an option where progressive values mostly are represented, and you have people always fighting for those values, and not just sometimes, or not something not just when it's politically convenient, and certainly not only when they're in the minority, where you saw all of this big talk during the Trump years from Democrats, and as soon as they took power, it's we're scared, we can't do anything, we don't want to upset people, we don't want to upset our donors. I'm tired of Democrats governing from a position of fear, and having more options and a multi-party system is great. I think that's ultimately what this represents. We're tired of these people. We're tired of this system. We want change. And political leaders, people in Washington, and certainly insiders in cable news, they will not recognize that. They don't get it, or they're just trying not to because their paycheck relies on it.
On the third parties in the real world, and in not the hypothetical that I mentioned, you have to see how they're going to do. Are they going to catch on, or are they not going to catch on? So a lot of people say right out of the gate, no, boo, third party. You should never ever consider a third party. And some people say, oh, I'm going third party no matter what. Wait, hold on. Is a third party going to take a critical 3% at the end of the election? Or did it actually gain momentum? For the people who say, no, a third party can never gain momentum, well, that's not factually correct. Ross Perot probably would have won if he hadn't dropped out. He gathered gigantic momentum and wound up getting about 19%, even after he dropped out and came back into the race, which was devastating. And he still got a giant number, right? So a third party is not impossible, but you have to be super rich, and that's why RFK Jr. just picked Nicole Shanahan as his VP, as we told you he would last night on the show. We broke that story, or we confirmed that story, and that's because she's the the ex-wife of Sergey Brin, one of the co-founders of Google. So she has more money than God. So she can get him on the ballots. Now, the reality is, Jordan, I don't think RFK Jr. or any of the people right now are likely to pull off a third party victory. Very, very unlikely. I mean, would I rather have President Cornel West than Biden or Trump? Yes. But do I think that that's likely? No, I do not think it's likely, okay? But whether you like it or not, and these are two people on different parts of the political spectrum, but if they had enough money, and one of them already clearly does, a Jon Stewart or a Mark Cuban could come into this race and win the whole thing. I think that is actually, this is a race that is enormously winnable by a third party candidate. They just have to not be a kook. And those two guys pass that bar easily. Jon Stewart would be super popular, right? Mark Cuban would be popular enough, and he's got a boatload of money. So, but I don't know that you're going to get a real guy who can win as a third party candidate. And it's definitely not literally anybody else. He just doesn't have the firepower for it. But I like what he's doing, and I like that he's trying. Everybody go out there and get caught trying. So tip of the hat to this brother. But at the end of the day, there could be a real third party candidate in here. I don't know if any of them are going to do it, but if you had someone like that, they could win the whole thing.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.